3 assists to go with it as we look at Poppy, Jose Perez, the coach of Minera, who's discussed that his team have given the ball away again in a dangerous area. Brahim Diaz trying to make something of it, and the lead has arrived, and it's the Iron Man, Freddy Valverde, apparently undroppable, and he may just have shown why. Splendid finish, and Real Madrid have the lead inside 5 minutes.
The man that never rests, Fede Valverde. That's why Carlo Ancelotti never drops him. He can play anywhere on the pitch, and he will always bring this unmatchable level of energy and efficiency. I really love Fede Valverde. I warned this. You cannot try to play up from the back against Real Madrid. You're going to concede mistakes, you're going to give the ball away, and this is exactly what happened. Not only trying to play up from the back, but this poor clearance by Juan Heredero, by the fullback, and Fede Valverde says, thank you so much. Here comes the first one.
Well, we talked about gifts being handed out, Alex, but Minera have been handing the gifts to their illustrious opponents. I mean, they haven't been listening to you. They've been trying to play the ball out of the back continuously, and it's been a disaster.
It's always a dilemma for this kind of teams, because I've been scouting Minera, and they really try to play up from the back in their league games, but you cannot try to do the same against the champions of Europe. You need to adapt to the scenario, but you can also try to leave a good impression, and this is what they were trying to showcase here. We're a minor team, we're humble, but we also know how to play up from the back. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. As they say about first impressions, the first impressions have not been great. Deportivo Minera. This is Fran Garcia now, the most experienced 4 men along the back line at the age of 25 tonight. It's Lorenzo Aguado, one of the new arrivals, who will be playing as a right back. There's a lot of talk, wasn't there, pre-Christmas break about how the future for Real Madrid defensively may well come from within their own ranks.
Yeah. The thing about Real Madrid is they realize that they have canteras or youth system as powerful as Barcelona, but they never promote young players.
They have here tonight is one of them trying to deliver the cross. Lorenzo Aguado, seeing it deflect behind. He's a classic example, Lorenzo Aguado, 22 years old, but he's been with Real Madrid academy set up since the age of 8.
He made his debut this summer at the El Clásico here in the US.
Arda Güler's corner was up for grabs, and it may have been Raul Asensio who was close.
ማግኘት የከበደውን መልስ
Luka Modric and Arda Güler surveying the scene here. It will be the Turkish international who takes it, floating it for a run at the far post that never materialised. 10 minutes in, a rather illustrious looking bench today for the Merengues. No place on the bench for that man, though. No rest for him. He's making his 27th start of the season in all competitions. He's started in every single game Real Madrid have played.
No, if Carlo Ancelotti could clone him and have 3 Fede Valverdes, he would play them all. He can play as a holding midfielder, as a right winger, as a right back, and he will always deliver. He's a blessing for any coach.
Well, that man, you just saw Poppy would settle for about a half of Freddy Valverde.
Yeah.
That's nicely done by Camavinga. Golfing class has been very evident through the early exchanges, although Carlo Ancelotti is not happy with the final product there. Well, Jose Perez Poppy put it pretty plainly, didn't he? He said, listen, we have a 1% chance, but we'll hold on to that, and who knows what will happen.
Yeah, but not the best start for them. When you're facing a team so much better than you, you need to make the game as long as possible. You need to stay alive for as long as possible. And if you can see the first goal in the first opening minutes, that's not the way you're gonna make it through.
And Carlo Ancelotti in his pre-game comments suggesting that Real Madrid were not going to be easing up here tonight. He said we approach this with the same enthusiasm as anything else. It's an important competition. It's given us some happiness in recent years. Not that much happiness though, Alex. They've only won it once in the last 10 seasons.
Yeah, and this has been always the competition for Athletic Club Bilbao or FC Barcelona, but not Real Madrid.
Now, nicely around the back for Fran Garcia.
Oh.
Now a chance for Camavinga. And Fran Martinez had to parry it to one side. Fran Garcia stealing it back. And Camavinga's not to be denied this time. A towering header. And Real Madrid in total control. In just 12 minutes here in Cartagena.
Deportiva Minera are making it too easy for Carlo Ancelotti and his men. After the first chance by Camavinga, the ball went to Jose Mas, the right back, and instead of clearing it out, he tried to dribble. This is the first chance, a good run into the space by Fran Garcia with the cross. This movement by Arda Güler was excellent. And take a look at this. Instead of just clearing the ball out, he tries to dribble and he concedes a second chance to Fran Garcia. Thank you very much again. Good cross and good header by Camavinga.
Yeah, certainly an element of self-inflicted wound there for the Minnows. Camavinga doesn't get too many goals. He certainly doesn't get too many goals in the air, Alex, so a collector's item.
Yeah, it is. I think this must be Camavinga's first goal, first header goal with Real Madrid ever. I don't recall him scoring with a header.
Well, he's only ever scored twice in La Liga. So the perfect start to the new year for Real Madrid, who had to endure a pretty torrid first half against Valencia on Friday night. Needed a late show, down to 10 men, and having missed a penalty, they still managed to pull through to win that put them top of La Liga. Now in great shape to make early progress in this competition, but what a shot from a distance, and Lunin was well off his line. Omar Perdomo, the top scorer for Minera, knew it, and he had the keeper beaten, couldn't put it on target.
That's a good effort, collective effort, because the pressure leads to that error, to that mistake. And Omar Perdomo, the most experienced player of Minera, he just took his chance, and the ball didn't get that far from Andre Lunin's goal.
Perdomo is Minera's top scorer in the fourth flight this season with 5 goals and 2 assists. As you mentioned, Alex, has some pretty high-level experience. 5 years in the second division with Tenerife. As that's stolen away by Brahim Diaz, looking to make his mark here tonight, but no progress there for him. Nice spin and turn as Minera, for the first time, with Poppy looking on, suggesting they may just about to be settling into the game.
It's too late for them. Just 2-0 down, yeah. They woke up 15 minutes later.
You need to settle in at 0-0, don't you? Not 0-2.
Mm-hmm. And yet they keep trying to play up from the back.
Poppy's not listening to you, Alex.
No.
He needs to.
I mean, he's got the authority. He's a local police officer.
Now, a lovely turn by Valverde. Now, Brahim Diaz. Shrug off the attentions of Jose Mas. Gets the cross in. Another free header. Hendrick would love to get in on the scoring action, wouldn't he?
He needs it.
Offside was ultimately the decision. Not actually sure it was the right one, but what do you make of Hendrick? Alex, there are plenty of interested onlookers here. He scored, didn't he, against Valladolid back in August in La Liga, scored a Champions League goal against Stuttgart. I think all signs were he was going to get more opportunities at that point under Carlo Ancelotti. It hasn't happened, and Ancelotti was actually being publicly quite critical of him, saying, listen, he needs to work.
Yeah, and I think those 2 early goals were counterproductive for him, because everyone expected him to start producing since day one, and it's the guys at the studio in the pregame show painted a perfect picture. It's not easy when you're 18, even if there's so much hype around you. Just landing at Real Madrid, it always takes some time. You can ask Vinicius Junior, for instance. It took him 2 years to fully develop his skills. And the problem of being so successful in your first 2 games, maybe you get too cocky, and maybe you think it's too easy, and it's too hard. It's Real Madrid, and it's never going to be easy. And there was a move at the derby against Atletico de Madrid. There was a counter-attack led by Hendrick. He had Mbappe and Vinicius alongside him. He took a shot. He failed that shot, and Atletico de Madrid scored the equalizer right afterwards. And that annoyed not only his teammates, but also Carlo Ancelotti, because he was deemed that too selfish. And that ultimately make him pay the price of sitting on the bench next to Carlo Ancelotti for a while.
Yeah. Now Fran Garcia has enjoyed the freedom of the left-hand side. Now Brahim Diaz momentarily in some of the same. Yeah, Hendrick made a point, didn't he, on social media of posting some photos of him working during the Christmas break in Brazil, doing some solo gym sessions, as if to respond to Carlo Ancelotti's public demands.
You respond on the pitch, not on Instagram.
Well, here's a chance to do just that. Hendrick bursting through the centre. Just couldn't get any sort of meaningful shot at the end of what was a forceful run.
You can tell he's been active, he's lively. He had those 2 connections with Arda Güler in the opening minutes. He's leaving a good impression so far.
18-year-old has never scored in a domestic cup game. He had 5 games in the Copa do Brasil, which he failed to score. Of course, he has a goal in the Champions League and goals in the Copa Libertadores as well.
Not a bad record for an 18-year-old.
Yeah. "20 minutes gone here at the Carta Honova Stadium. Home away from home for Deportivo Minera, who play at the Angel Cedron Stadium normally, which holds less than 2,000. There's a good reason for that. The village from which they come, Delano de Biel has a population of 1,400, Alex.
Yeah.
It's the home village for Deportivo Minera, the mining sports team in what was very much a mining village back in the day. As Luka Modric finds Brahim Diaz. So a handball it was against Endrick in the end.
A wasted chance by Brahim Diaz. The pass by Luka Modric wasn't good either. He was a little bit too slow, and that forced Brahim to slow down his own run, and eventually Endrick committed a handball. But the Real Madrid players are finding this too easy for them.
Yeah, they have just waltzed through whatever token resistance Minera have been able to offer so far. If you're just joining us, goals from Freddy Valverde and a header from Camavinga, the difference. That was after Fran Martinez, the Deportivo Minera goalkeeper, had already been called into action twice. Here's a look at the save tally. Lunin not had to make one yet, although we did see that long-range effort from Perdomo go over his head. And here is the aforementioned Ferran trying to get clear of his man. This is the Copa del Rey round of 32. As Alex mentioned at the start of the game, the change initiated in this competition to turn them into just one-legged affairs has really reinvigorated the Copa del Rey.
The old system, the old competition system was too boring, too predictable.
Now around the back goes Perdomo, forced into a little bit of a blind alley, but does well to escape. Camavinga there to apply the takeaway and does so very nicely. Manages to find Valverde, the outlet pass. Valverde with the outside of the foot. You could see Endrick was on his radar there.
He was trying to emulate Vinicius Jr. with those passes with the outside, or even Lamine Yamal. But that's an example. Fede Valverde, regardless of the opponent, he will always give the same amount of energy on the pitch.
Again, the Minnows attempting to play the ball out of the back a little more successfully this time, it should be said. Jose Mas trying to work it down the line, not for long. Valverde. Real Madrid went out of the competition last year at the round of 16 stage. That was, though, to Atletico Madrid. And there's a distinct possibility this could be the start of 4 consecutive games for them in different cup competitions. They go from here to Saudi Arabia, play the semi-final, the Spanish Super Cup against Mallorca on Thursday. If they win that, they'll have the final to play on Sunday. And then it'll be back for another Copa del Rey game if they win this before the next play in La Liga. Here's Lorenzo Aguado and Goulet. Shot is on. Arda Goulet saw his shot hit his own man. Camavinga sliding in, not to the liking of Alvarola Rojas or Omar Perdomo, who stays down.
He was trying to earn some time for his teammates to get out of their own box. And this is the friendly fire, just hitting Brahim Diaz after this individual effort by Arda Güler.
Yeah, just the one goal so far this season for Arda Güler. Came in the league win in Girona. 3 assists. Arda Güler, who has experienced triumph in domestic cup competition. He won the Turkish Cup with Fenerbahce. He's trying to get on the end of this long ball now, but Fran Martinez patrolling the edge of his area. Yeah, he played a big role in Fenerbahce winning the Turkish Cup 2 seasons ago. Alex got an assist in the final.
He was also brilliant during the Euros this summer. Good combination here.
Brahim Diaz trying to return it to the Turkish international.
He was an object of dispute between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona were very confident on signing him from Fenerbahce, but due to the financial situation of the Catalans, Arda Güler finally decided to move to Madrid.
Yeah, you're so right about his displays at the Euros. Became Turkey's youngest ever goal scorer in the run-up to the Euros. Of young. Lorenzo Aguado, one of those at the back. Fran Garcia. Well, Goliath in total control here against David in the Copa del Rey.
A very serious performance by Real Madrid, and Barcelona led the way a couple of days ago at the Rasto. They were super professional in a very uncomfortable pitch.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Freddy Valverde to Güler. Will it open up for him this time? A deflected effort, and it does! And Arda Güler has found the back of the net for just the second time this season. He's been threatening, it's been coming, and it finally arrives for the Turkish international.
Making his favorite move, cutting inside from the right, looking for shooting angle with his favorite left foot, and he finally found it. A couple of minutes ago, he found Brahim Diaz back, but now, after this couple of dribbles and with a little bit of lag after the deflection, he found the back of the net. It's too easy for Real Madrid. Deportiva Minera's players, yeah, they're still occupying tight spaces, but they're just unable to stop the quality of the likes of Arda Güler, Brahim, and company.
Yeah, just as you said, Alex, took a little nick, didn't it, off the, I think the back heel of Fran Molina, one of the Minera centre-backs, enough to deceive Fran Martinez and give Güler his goal.
Well, these games, Adrian, sorry, are about to killing any chance of surprise. This is exactly what they're doing.
Camavinga, well, could have killed it off completely inside half an hour. Complete miss kick from him. Maybe he needs it in the air, Alex.
He's not used to being that kind of finishing position. And again, they see it too easy that they make these silly mistakes. It had been almost 3 years since Camavinga scored his last goal for Real Madrid. That was in La Liga against Real Sociedad in March 2022. So he's not a goal scorer, that's for sure.
And you saw Carlo Ancelotti's reaction to that effort. He may get some ribbing about that one a little later on. Well, they came in with high hopes, albeit realistic hopes, didn't they? I mean, this is a competition where certainly plenty of the Spanish top flight have suffered already this year. Saw some more shots earlier in this round. There's a chance for number 4. This is threatening to get out of hand. Brahim Diaz denied by Fran Martinez.
This can be an nightmare for Deportiva Minera players because of the hunger of Real Madrid subs. Brahim wants to leave his mark, so does Hendrik, so does Arda Güler. And they're not gonna just take the foot off the gas, and that's going to be bad for the local team.
Luka Modric with the corner. Cleared this time, but Valverde looking to recycle. That was a lovely idea, wasn't it? Just to keep it on the ground for Diego Aguado, the 17-year-old centre-back. He's barely been called into action so far.
The second goal, the mistake by Mas, and then a good cross by Fran Martinez. This is a good chance. This game is a good chance for all these players, like Fran Garcia, like Arda Güler. As I said, that Brahim, they want to leave a mark there.
Yeah, the story of the games. Some of the younger players, and Carlo Ancelotti. It was interesting to hear him say, Alex. This is listen. This isn't about getting younger players minutes just for the sake of it. We need young players who can help us.
And that's totally true, because there's a lot of managers that just they give kids the chance of making the first team just for the sake of being the manager that gave a lot of players the chance of playing time with the first team. But it's got to have some purpose, and this is why Real Madrid are so cautious with their youngsters. But there's a couple of players. So both Aguados, Diego Aguado, the centre back, he's only 17. He can mirror what Pau Cubarsí is doing for Barcelona, and the other Aguado, the most experienced one, the 22-year-old kid, Lorenzo. As you said, he has been part of Real Madrid in all of their teams of the youth rank. So this is not just for giving them a prize. This is, if you're playing for Real Madrid at this stage, it is because you earned it.
Yeah, and you saw Lorenzo Aguado. You were just talking about him stepping in there, disrupting that attack before Güler was clipped. Young players who can really help us in critical moments was the exact wording of Carlo Ancelotti, talking about the products of the Cantera. And, you know, his son is actually actively involved, isn't he? Davide Ancelotti, the assistant coach. There's a well-publicised list that he produced, Davide's list it's called, listing all the players that could help the first team.
La lista de Davide in Spanish, it's famous, Marca newspaper just published it, and he's working closely with all these youngsters that some of them are on the pitch today.
Jose Mas trying to work his way out of a jam. The ball in the hands of coach Jose Perez Poppy. I heard you mention this briefly, but it's worth expanding upon. Poppy's not even a full-time soccer coach. He's a part-time policeman.
Yep.
Police officer in Los Alcazares, a seaside town just up the road from here. He works evening and night shifts as a police officer.
Yeah, in order to accommodate his schedule as a manager, as a coach. So you really need to love your hobby, or you really need to love soccer in order to make those kind of sacrifices.
You may need to apply some discipline at half-time.
Yeah.
He was worried actually about yesterday. Yesterday was the big day of celebration, all the parades everywhere around Spain. He actually had to request a day off from his duties to be able to train the team. Here's Fran Garcia. Valverde just skipping around the opposition, such as it was. Nicely worked through the central channels. Now Fran Garcia. His crosses have been menacing. Luka Modric caught hold of it beautifully. His aim was true, but Fran Martinez able to gather. And a big week of cup football for all the big teams in Spain as we look at this opportunity for Modric. Was there a foul involved? We will have coverage of the Spanish Super Cup later in the week. Both the semi-finals. It kicks off on Wednesday. Remember, this all happening in Saudi Arabia. Barcelona against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. Real Madrid will be in action the following night. They depart for Saudi Arabia immediately following this game. Real Madrid play Mallorca on Thursday. 2 p.m. start time as well, both those games right here on ESPN Plus. Delighted you could be with us today. Adrian Healy, Alex Pereira watching a very comfortable night so far for Real Madrid. And as you said, Alex, comparing it to the Barcelona display a couple of days ago, approaching it in the same way in a very professional manner. As Brahim Diaz looks to make it 4.
Trying to make it too nice in the final touch, because it's so easy for them. It was Brahim Diaz was onside, and yeah, they're only lacking a little bit more of accuracy in the final touch. It's too easy, this combination between Brahim and Arda Güler. They're attacking inside their wingers. They don't even need to apply more width and depth. So Brahim is playing in a very central role, so is Arda Güler, and they're leaving all the width and depth to especially Fran Garcia on the left-hand side.
Well, the golf in class has been vast and evident right from the word go. However, it should be remembered that vsD.minera have already beaten top-flight opposition in the cup this year. They beat Alaves in the last round. It was a 2-2 draw after extra time. They won on penalties. Fran Martinez, the goalkeeper who's already been busy here tonight, was the hero of the night with a couple of penalty saves. Fran Garcia with more patrol work down the left. This time it yields a corner off of Jose Mas.
He got hurt blocking that cross. Had a lot of pace. Jose Mas, sorry, didn't have a strong leg for that. That's why he got hurt.
Lovely from Luka Modric, near post. Drilled it in there for Lorenzo.
Can't believe Luka Modric is 39 and he's still dribbling like a winger.
We saw Luka Modric get his first goal of the season. What a big one it was for Real Madrid in the 85th minute. Mestalla against Valencia. Interestingly, Alex, he's never scored in this competition. This is his 30th game of his career in the Copa del Rey. 0 goals, 6 assists. That's what he's done. The last remaining survivor of the team that won the competition over a decade ago in 2014. Carlo Ancelotti's first spell in charge. That was the famous Gareth Bale final.
Yeah.
Against Barcelona.
Against Mar Bartra.
Yeah.
Como el Real Mestalla in Valencia.
Now, opportunity again for Arda Güler. Brahim Diaz.
No, these 3 kids are enjoying themselves. They're playing together in a tight space. So Hendrik is the number 9, but he can also drift to the right, especially. That allows Arda Güler to occupy central areas. Brahim Diaz is also playing more as a number 10 than as a winger, and they can create those quick combinations, those 1-2 that are destroying Minera's defense.
I guess you would say, Alex, that's the one thing, one box still left to tick tonight for Carlo Ancelotti. Can Hendrik get his name on the score sheet? An opportunity perhaps here. Instead it's Valverde, who produces another great save out of Fran Martinez. And Fran Martinez again in action to deny what would have been an ugly own goal. The man who spent a few years in the Real Madrid youth system when he was much, much younger.
There was Monti, the player that blocked that cross and forced his own goalkeeper to make a great save.
Repeating some of the same heroics he produced in the last round in that sharp win against Alaves. Modric outside of the foot. They're all getting in on the axe, Alex.
Yeah. This is a classic Luka Modric with the outside of his foot. They all want to leave a mark, and that's an interesting stat that you mentioned about Luka Modric never scoring at the Copa del Rey. That's yet another goal for them. Hendrik getting into the scoreline as well.
He's done well here, Hendrik, to get to the byline, tees it up. Well, it really should have been 4. Not sure how it wasn't. Lorenzo could have marked his full team debut, first team debut with a goal.
Well done by Lorenzo with the follow-up, but then the finishing was terrible with his weaker foot. With the left foot, he's a right-footed player. And here's again the trickery by Arda Güler, and those quick combinations between Hendrik and Brahim Diaz.
Well, 3-0 is not pretty, is it, for vsD.minera? It could have been a lot worse through approach half-time.
And that's your duty as a manager. When you know that the game is over and you're being spanked by the biggest team, you need to set like individual goals. So it's like, okay, let's try to finish 0-0 the second half, or let's try to not concede a goal in the opening 15 minutes. And those kind of small challenges within the game to keep your players alive. Otherwise, they're going to drop their shoulders, they're going to throw the towel, and they're going to end up conceding a lot of goals.
Yeah, Pompey needs to get his policeman's hat on at half-time, lay down the law. Carlo Ancelotti will be quietly delighted with the way his team have applied themselves here. Lovely build-up work again. Brahim Diaz biting off a little more than he could chew, and there's an outlet this time for this beleaguered Minera defence. Back comes Luka Modric though, and he continues his run. Is this the moment for Luka Modric? He's been waiting so long for a goal in this competition. Must have thought it was about to come. Well, he did become, didn't he, Real Madrid's oldest ever goal scorer. His goal on Friday night at Mestalla. Older even than Puskás back in the day.
The oldest player ever to score a goal in the Copa del Rey is a minor team player called Robbie Toral. He was 40 years and 302 days. So even if Luka Modric scored today, he wouldn't break that record.
Well, he'd have to come back next year for a go at that. And you wouldn't bet against him still being here next year, would you?
He always delivers. He's rarely a starter and nowadays, but he plays in every single game, and he always brings something to the team.
Well, I know there are many fans of MLS, star watchers in the US, Alex, have been hoping that Luka Modric would come and finish his career in MLS, but he's showing no signs of going anywhere.
Antoine Griezmann is going to join the MLS way earlier than Luka Modric.
Up amongst the dignitaries here at the Hanover Stadium. There's a little bit of a sour taste left in the mouth of a lot of the local fans here about the way vsD.minera went about selling tickets for this game. There was a high price attached when they moved the game to this stadium. A price that was later slashed after they didn't sell it out. And a lot of other fans were able to buy tickets a lot cheaper. Didn't go down too well.
Huge mismanagement and lack of respect towards the true fans that purchased those tickets the moment they were put on sale. This is mainly Real Madrid fans just enjoying themselves doing the Mexican way.
Yeah, there's probably as many Real Madrid fans, if not more, than those of a local variety. Of course, we have fans all over the world and all over Spain, no matter what the local affiliations are. Of course, the team that plays here in this stadium are a second division team, Cartagena. They've never actually been in the top flight. Never. Real Madrid's visits to the stadium have been few and far between over the years. They're making the most of this one. And here's Brahim Diaz on the move once more. Hendrick, well, he had a man behind him in Arda Güler.
And that's why Carlo Ancelotti is complaining, so is Arda Güler. Everyone saw that, but Hendrick himself.
Still not quite happening for him, is it? Despite all his solo work. In the recently ended holiday period, he was back in Brazil. It was actually the only money spent by Real Madrid this past off-season. It's about equivalent to $50 million to acquire his services. Now, chance for Pipo to work his way inside. And Minera will get themselves a free kick. Barely been anywhere near the Real Madrid penalty area, but they'll have a chance to do so deep in stoppage time of this first half. Well, they took the free kick so quickly we didn't even get to see it, Alex.
No.
Assume it came. Yeah, assume it didn't amount to much. Your thoughts on what Carlo Ancelotti's side have done here in the first 45 minutes in Cartagena?
Oh, a very professional display by Real Madrid. It's never easy when there's so many changes, when so many young players trying to leave a mark, trying to leave a good impression, but they're working as a team, they're enjoying themselves, and this is a very unbalanced match. So it's up to Real Madrid players. If they keep the same level of energy, the second half could be too long for Atletico Minera players.
Well, I, for one, are looking forward to Alejandro Moreno's reaction to what we just saw, which was shirt swapping at half-time, no less. Arda Güler's already given his shirt to Omar Perdomo. Ali is going to be apocalyptic. I can't even say it. You'll have to wait and see what he has to say with our crew at half-time.
On Underdog, you can make picks and win money all season long by picking higher or lower on your favorite players. You get it right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money.
New customers sign up and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Download the app today to claim your offer.
Hey man, ever since you tried zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, I feel like you've been a bigger fan of that than the closers. How could you say that? What?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Oh, this is my flavor. BK melts. Wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Fireworks AI, we chose OCI for its excellent total customer support and the world-class infrastructure. So to us, this is a win-win strategy.
Let's review. We're not going to talk about traffic. or weather. If anyone brings up lawn care, I will handle it. Hosting can be extremely difficult for young homeowners turning into their parents.
Oh, are you done with this? I'll just take that.
Okay, he's still drinking.
Oh, look what the cat.
Nope. Let's try again. You wouldn't mind? It gets ugly. You can either take it off, or I'll take it off you. Yeah.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
You loved it. Take
Doesn't
it.
want it.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries, and now your gut is in the gutter. But the pinheads are making a comeback. Undo it with Pepto Fast Melts.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
So you can keep on rolling. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
Yellow. Didn't pass the tissue test?
Dr. Garcia?
Buckle up.
Whoa! Reality checkup!
There's toothpaste white, and then there's Crest 3D White Strips white. Oh, one sec.
Crest 3D White Strips safely work below the enamel surface to whiten like a $400 professional treatment.
Prepare for a non-stop smile.
The #1 teeth whitening brand in America. And use Crest 3D White toothpaste to maintain your smile. Crest.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellies. You gotta be kidding me! It's not real! Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Welcome into the ESPN FC studios. It's half-time in our Copa del Rey tie between Minera and Real Madrid. And if you're looking for a romantic story, maybe this isn't it. Minera, of course, in the third tier of Spanish football, and they showed why. They are at that level. Of course, a lot of them part-timers, playing out from the back here. Endrick backs Zila into Gula. Shot saved.
Goalkeeper comes up with the save. Good hold-up play and back heel from Hendrick. Gula trying to get it past the goalkeeper, unable to do so.
I think it's fair to say that the goalkeeper was the best player. Certainly for Minera in the first half.
Well, he's been active, let's say that.
Oh, he's done good, Daddy. Look, makes a nice save here.
Okay, all right. Hendrick gets him behind, looking for a goal. Not quite happening for him.
Of course, a number of starters on the bench for this tie, with the exception of, Fede Valverde. And this is a nice assist, really, isn't it, from the Minera captain?
Right, well, your boy, the goalkeeper, is the one that gives the ball away to begin with.
Don't start the goalkeeper.
I'm just saying. And then Fede Valverde, as the ball is popped up by the captain to the back post, clean volley, 1-0.
It's an interesting decision from the defender trying to dribble it out.
Not only trying to dribble, but try to do a sort of, let me wrap it around with a meg kind of thing. It didn't quite work out. Ball is stood up to the back post. What are we doing? 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 Apparently, we're just going to lose the ball in a bad area, and then Camavinga dunks over everybody, 2-0.
Oh, I was so hoping this was going to go in.
Yeah, well, you and I suppose all of Minera.
What do you mean, I suppose? Why have you got this tone?
Because they're doing everything they can to make it so very easy for Real Madrid. My goodness.
Arda Güler was hustling throughout the game, wasn't he? He'd eventually get his goal here through deflected efforts.
Cuts to the inside. There is a deflection underway. And again, your goalkeeper cannot make a save.
What's he supposed to do?
Well, you said he was great. You said he was great.
He was the best player for Minera in this game, without a doubt. Camavinga here be disappointed not to have got his second. Goalkeeper stands up big.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Intimidated Camavinga with his presence in goal. Camavinga goes with the wrong technique, unable to execute.
Just before the break here, Hendrick looking to tee it up.
Hendrick does well, change of pace, gets his head up. Little drop-off pass. It has to be at least on target. It was not from Lorenzo Aguado. Oh, no.
And this would be just at half-time. Arda Güler swapping shirts there.
At least have the decency to go in the tunnel to do this. This is not the attitude of a competitor. Let me just say that.
So, Minera 0, Real Madrid 3. Wow, I expected goals much higher than the actual score there. That's quite something. We welcome in Luis Garcia is with us. Luis, what would you like to say?
Actually, I will agree with you that the best player of Minera was the keeper, 9 safe against Real Madrid, and some of them they were.
I'll take that.
But definitely something that we were expecting. It's a team that likes to build from the back. Against Real Madrid, you know that you're going to have problems. If you try to flirt a little bit, mistakes are going to be paid off very much, and that's what we saw. The first 2 goals were because they lost the ball in that first third, and Real Madrid is not going to do the thing that score goals. Not much to say. I think that we enjoyed. Actually, I think that we have to give credit to the team because you play against Real Madrid. Some of them, they will think that they want to get a low block, stay there, put a lot of numbers there, and just stick to see if they can get a draw. They play the way that they like to play every weekend in the domestic league. So I think there is something brave and something that we have to praise. But of course, when you play against team at the level of Real Madrid, even though there is not the best 11, the quality and technique of this team is always going to pay off. And I think that Real Madrid did well, even though that is playing, I think, 60% max of their total capacity. So good result for Real Madrid. We'll see what happens on the second half, but I don't think that Ancelotti is going to put in any risk any of the players who had on the bench.
The worst thing that could have happened to Minera today is actually the choice made by Carlo Ancelotti in heavily rotating the team. Because most people would suggest, well, you know, Mbappe's not out there, Vini's not out there, Bellingham's not out there. They don't want to be out there.
People proving a point.
And so those that actually are getting an opportunity to play are excited to be on the field. So Aguado, Asensio, Lorenzo, Guder, Hendrik, Brahim, Modric, even Modric, a guy with his experience, seems excited to be getting on the ball. And he's getting his opportunity to get some minutes. And Fran Garcia is also active down the left-hand side. All these guys that are not playing a whole lot, when they get a chance to play, what do you think they're going to do? Oh, we're bored. We don't really want to play against Minera. Well, truth of the matter is that this is your chance. This is your opportunity. You're excited to be out there, so you're going to run. And so when you have an interested version of Real Madrid, it's going to make it impossible for these part-timers, Minera, to actually have any sort of opportunity. I think they would have had a better chance to play against the disinterested players of Real Madrid. That hasn't been the case. There was no chance coming into this match, and that has been confirmed in the first half. It's now a matter of the attitude of Real Madrid in the second half and what they choose to do in the second half. This is not a game about Minera, and they sure as heck has made it really easy for Real Madrid when they lose the ball in bad areas and when they choose to make it a priority to get a jersey. Let me get your jersey, Alba. Let me get your jersey. That's more important than whatever I'm doing out here on the field.
Luis, come on. They're part-timers. They want memento. That's fine, isn't it? Cynical old Ali.
Listen, Dan, but you know what happened? That the face of the player of Minera that was receiving or asking the jersey, and he was asked back, have a look, because probably he doesn't even have a second one. He's going to have to go back to Arda Güler and say, listen, give it back to me because maybe I don't have even a second one. So the face is like, okay, I want yours, but I don't want. So Omar is one of the top scorers of the team. He was probably the most technical gifted. But the face of, you won't mind, actually you won't mind, then I have to be worried because I don't know if I got a second one. So give it a chance. I think it was his opportunity. He didn't want to wait until the 90th minute, and maybe he didn't have a chance because the other one done it.
Stevie Nichols tells a story at Liverpool. They had 2 shirts the whole season. In pre-season, one of the new players already gave it into the crowd.
Well, of course,
that was it. Athletic Club taking on Barcelona, followed by Real Madrid against Mallorca. That is your Supercopa semi-finals coming up on Wednesday and Thursday with a final on Sunday. ESPN FC live today to bring you some reaction to Real Madrid's victory and also Nottingham Forest against Wolves, plus talking all those controversial calls from the weekend. Stay with us. Can Hendrik get his goal?
On Underdog, you can make picks and win money all season long by picking higher or lower on your favorite players. You get it right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money.
New customers get up to $1,000 in bonus credit with their first deposit.
Download Underdog now to claim your offer.
Where can you kick off the new year with gig speed and big savings? Only with Xfinity. Get gig internet for $25 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile. Plus, hurry and get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com/gig savings today.
BK Melt, wanna warm up this sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
We now return to our interview with the insurance whistleblower.
I just think everyone should know there's an insurance company out there exposing other companies' rates so you can compare them and save.
Sounds like trouble.
It's great, actually. It's called Auto Quote Explorer from Progressive. Here, look. See, we show you our direct rates and their rates, even if we're not the lowest.
So, whistleblower usually means you're exposing something bad.
I thought it meant calling attention to something helpful. You know, like, toot, toot, check it out. This thing's the best. No?
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the semis.
You've got to be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. For the love of football, derbies, ultras, and humba, and every match on ESPN Plus.
Nothing like it in the Bundesliga.
For the love of braces and hat tricks,
With a belter!
belters and wonder goals,
It's a wonder goal!
number 9s and the Torschützenkönig. For the love of the Invincibles,
Leverkusen, unbeaten champions!
for the love of Bundesliga, exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Tap into an entire world of sports. ESPN.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Cartagena Stadium here in Cartagena, the historic old Roman city down in the southeastern corner of Spain. That is not the correct scoreline. It is actually Deportivo Minera 0, Real Madrid 3. And in the build-up to this game, Marca, the big Spanish paper, had the headline calling it a day for the kids. Well, that's certainly true in terms of some of the defensive players out there for Carlo Ancelotti, but as we look at Dani Ceballos warming up, there's plenty of experience out here as well for Real Madrid. Looks like Minera are also going to make a couple of changes. Adrian Healy in the company of Alex Pereira getting set. And Ceballos, you were mentioning, Alex, is interesting. He's been in good form either side of the Christmas break, isn't he? And perhaps a player who most closely fills the rather German-sized gap left by Toni Kroos.
He left a huge gap, and Abbas, but this is the closest thing that you can find to Toni Kroos within the squad without having to spend more money. And Dani Ceballos, when he's fit, when he doesn't have to deal with any injuries, he's a very good player. He's the kind of player that can move the ball around and can play quality passes, breaking lines, and just dictating the tempo of the game. We see Luka Modric, so he's not going to be taken off. It's probably Fede Valverde will get some rest. And there's two players from Minera, Sanji Baraggi, who scored a good goal against Alaves in the previous round, and so is Diego Sheffield, the number 20. He's a right back, so he's going to be probably a more defensive Minera side in the second half.
Yeah, interesting. They've removed one of the centre backs. Monti coming off to allow Baraggi to come on. Sheffield also in place of Herrero. And Dani Ceballos. Not sure if they've announced who he's replacing yet, Alex. Now it comes. It is Fede Valverde, who finally does get a rest.
Yeah. He's human after all. but this is a big change of interpreters. Dani Ceballos doesn't have the pace of Fede Valverde, but he's got a lot of quality.
It'll be very interesting to see how Deportivo Minera line up for this second half. As I said, they've taken off a centre-back and brought on Baraggi. He's more of an offensive operator, as he said, scored a goal in the last round. Underway here in the stadium at which Real Madrid have been very infrequent visitors over the years. They were mainly here for a summer cup competition, which are friendlies in recent seasons. A tournament that was called the Bahia de Cartagena. They came a few times in the late 90s. Nicolas Anelka actually made his Real Madrid debut in this stadium, I read, Alex. It was a record signing for them at the time, 1999.
Yeah, back in the day when Real Madrid and Barcelona stayed in Spain for pre-season and didn't go to the US or to Asia to make some money. So that was from an era that won't come back, I'm afraid.
Again, for those of you just joining us, we're looking at a team who are currently in 8th place in the regional 4th tier of Spanish football. They actually were only promoted last year from the 5th tier. For the first time in a couple of decades. Well, they start the second half as they started the first, trying to play out of the back.
Good luck.
Showing some intent to disrupt that, but this time they managed to play their way out of it. And Diego Sheffield getting his first touch. Replacement looks like he's going to be playing as a left back.
Yeah, Diego Sheffield on the left back position. Damian Petkov will drop. He started as a holding midfielder. He's going to be a center back, a left center back in this second half. They are switching to a 4-4-2. Player is injured.
Yeah, maybe another switch that Jose Perez Poppy has to make pretty early on in the second half. This is the first game post-winter break for the Minera. You can see there behind the play, I think it might have been Petkov that you were just talking about.
34-year-old Argentine. And Vinicius Jr. maybe having some playing time today. That's interesting.
Yeah. A lot of thought that his red card ban may include this game. It ultimately didn't. Will he get a little workout in the second half? There's had plenty of action in the first. Fran Garcia delivering another good cross. Raul Asensio to Modric. Brahim Diaz, nice return from Endrick, and Brahim Diaz into the side netting.
Yeah, another wasted opportunity by Real Madrid after quick combinations in the central area. Endrick and Brahim and Arda Güler are enjoying themselves, but they need a better final product.
Brahim just electing to pick the near post instead of going across. Goalkeeper Fran Martinez, he couldn't squeeze it in.
The attention will be there. Will be set there on the sideline with Vinicius and Mbappe warming up.
Is almost a unique scene, isn't it? Seeing those two warm up together off the bench. We're getting to enjoy it here at the Cartagena Stadium. You can hear the crowd's reaction. That's Fran Garcia's reaction. Positive again as he powers forwards. Goulet thought about taking that on the volley, thought better of it. Now Endrick with the effort, had most of the sting taken out of it.
With selfish Endrick, because Dani Ceballos was overlapping him, coming from behind on the right-hand side. He chose to cut inside, go where all the defenders were, and that's why his shot wasn't that accurate.
Madrid's lone success in the last decade in this competition came just a couple of years ago in the 22-23 final. They beat Osasuna. You might remember Rodrigo got both the goals in that final. Chance we'll see him tonight as well if Carlo Ancelotti decides he needs a run out. Ancelotti himself was in charge the prior time Real Madrid that won. Mentioned it in the first half, that famous final involving the Gareth Bale goal against Barcelona. It was back in 2014 in his first spell in charge.
That season they won not only the Copa del Rey but also the Champions League, the mighty La Décima, the 10th Champions League title for Real Madrid after a long dry spell. They only lost La Liga to Atlético de Madrid. El Cholo Simeone won his first title that season, the 13-14 season.
Yeah. I remember them clinching it at Barcelona against Tata Martino's Barcelona.
Yep, that final game at the Camp Nou, 1-1. Diego Godín scored the goal for Atlético.
It's the start of a decade of unbroken success. As we mentioned in the first half, not as much in this competition as the more illustrious trophies that Real Madrid have hoisted. A very recent example of actually crashing out of this competition to lower division opponents. Only back in 2021 they lost to Alcoyano, who were a third-tier team at the time.
That was Zinedine Zidane's last season at Real Madrid.
No such problems here tonight for them, and they work their way through again beautifully, and the shot back off the post. Fran Garcia denied by the upright Arda Güler, picking up the rebound, able to rekindle the attack.
That's good for Real Madrid and for Carlo Ancelotti. They're giving the same level of energy.
Now Modric, he's on the way through. Back heels instead, almost politely declining the opportunity to shoot. I don't know if he remembers he doesn't have a goal in this competition yet.
I don't think he cares about his own personal record. He's not like Cristiano Ronaldo. But yeah, it's so easy. That's like, no, you go and score. No, but you, it's up to you. That was a great backheel pass. Just, come on, Ibrahim. Yeah, do your job.
It's Diego Sheffield going on a run, getting a cross in, the rare volley inside the penalty area, and a shot on goal. Omar Perdomo, the most likely producer of such moments, at least forcing Lunin into his first piece of rearguard action of the night.
Perdomo is playing in this second half as a second striker. They switched to a 4-4-2. Francis Ferroni is number 9, the reference, and Perdomo has a free pass for roaming around and showcases quality.
Andre Lunin, by the way, getting his 6th appearance in all competitions of the season. He's actually been involved in some of Real Madrid's more unsavoury losses. That's a good move from Baraggi, who stole it away. But Asensio to the rescue, 21-year-old centre-back. Lovely combination again on the left. It's been such a fruitful area for Real Madrid. Pretty much the whole pitch has been, really, isn't it? But particularly down the left.
Yeah, Fran Garcia is delivering a good game, and he needed it because he's still competing with Mendy.
Now Modric, quick give and go. Endrick awaiting, and Luka Modric has done it! It's taken a long, long time for the Croatian to score in the Copa del Rey. But it was well worth the wait, wasn't it? A delightful finish. And Real Madrid 4 goals in front in Cartagena.
politely waved back at the crowd that was chanting his name. Everyone loves Luka Modric. He started the play himself with this quick combination with Brahim Diaz. It's 1-2, and then it's too easy. If you give him just 1 inch of space and 1 second to think, this is what he'll do. Excellent, excellent finishing by Luka Modric. 39 years old, but still plenty of quality. So easy. Just a pass into the back of the net.
He had even scored an FA Cup goal more recently in his career than a Copa del Rey, and that was all the way back in 2008 for Spurs.
His longevity is outstanding. And he's still playing for one of the biggest, if not the biggest team in the world.
Pretty remarkable, isn't it? He extends his own record that he set on Friday night as the oldest ever goal scorer for the Merengues. I mean, think about that, Alex. That was a record that had stood since the days of Puskás.
That is the 50s and 60s. The first golden era of Real Madrid, when they won the first 5 Champions League or European Cup, as it was known back in the day, with Alfredo Di Stéfano as a mastermind of that team on the pitch, and Miguel Muñoz as a manager.
Lovely bending ball around the back again. Frank Garcia, Endrick just fractionally behind the play. It's still not quite happening for the young Brazilian, although his efforts keep the attack alive. I mean, he was just a step behind there, Alex.
Yeah, but it was up to him because the cross was perfect.
Now, Brahim Diaz. Half-hearted looks in the direction of referee Alberolo Rojas, who wasn't interested. It will be interesting to see what Real Madrid do should they get a penalty tonight, having missed 3 of their last 5.
Yeah, they haven't established a penalty taker yet. It's always up to the decision of the players at the moment, right at the moment, and it hasn't been working out for them. Bellingham missed a penalty, Mbappe missed a penalty against Athletic Club at San Mamés. Yeah, they need to sort that out.
Oh, what a pass. Now they've sliced it through again, Modric, and the shot is denied. Brahim Diaz must be feeling he could play till midnight here and not score. He's had 3 or 4 glorious opportunities.
But this is what really Dani Ceballos brings to the table for Real Madrid. Those kind of passes that can break defense lines and can find a teammate in a very advantageous position. That was excellent by Dani Ceballos, and again, Brahim got, I don't know, too cocky, or yeah, couldn't break the mental barrier of the goalkeeper.
Well, he'd already faked the goalkeeper out and got him on the ground, Alex. And then didn't take the shot for some reason.
They see it so easy that they take that extra second, that extra movement. If you're really facing a really competitive game, as soon as you get the ball into the box, you don't hesitate. You want to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah. Looks like another couple of changes coming for the policeman, Jose Perez Poppy. Modric. Yeah, you were right to give Ceballos huge credit for that last through ball. Lovely work from him, wasn't it? Arda Güler able to exhibit his close control. Camavinga has got a taste for it. 1 goal with a header tonight. A couple of opportunities. We are going to see Vinny Jr. very shortly.
So Gonzalo Garcia, number 30, defensive player.
Kylian Mbappe too, as Goulet gets on the end of this. Now Endrick, is this the moment? It isn't, because Fran Martinez continues to defy the odds. Dan Thomas was right to give him all the plaudits at half-time. He has been Minera's best player by a country mile.
Yeah. Can you concede 4 goals and still be considered man of the match?
I think he'd have to be, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be double figures quite easily without him.
Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, Vinny Jr. and Mbappe are licking their lips, ready to get into the action. Poor giveaway. It's Arda Goulet. He got the right amount of curl on it, but just couldn't keep it down. And what a moment for the crowd here. I'm sure most of the 15,000 coming here tonight would not have expected to see the real heavy hitters of the Real Madrid squad, but they're going to get a treat here with 30 minutes of action before they get their introduction. A couple more switches for the home team. Domingo Pujante is one of them. Ferrer is off to allow Sergio Cortado on. Luka Modric departing. And serenaded as he is everywhere he goes. Vinny Jr. on. Lucas Vazquez and Keima are also going to come on as Brahim departs. Lorenzo will remember his debut, I'm sure, for a long time. Might have had a goal.
It's an interesting substitution. On comes Chema Andres. He's only 19. He's super tall. He's 6'3", and he's been compared. He plays as a holding midfielder. He's been compared to Sergio Busquets and Rodrigo Hernandez. Not a bad comparison at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what the audio monitors would tell us. Who got the bigger cheer, Vinny Jr. or Mbappe? I think Mbappe may just have shaded that. But yeah, a lot of eyes on Chema, two of the 19-year-olds who has made appearances in the squad before without getting on. 19-year-old originally from Valencia.
So now Endrick goes to the right-hand side. He leaves Mbappe as a number 9, and Vinicius will play on his favorite flank on the left. And Arda Güler will play as a number 10, so Madrid are switching to a 4-2-3.
Diego Sheffield has shown attacking intent since coming on at half-time. So the left back getting down the flank again. The other substitute at half-time delivering the cross, Baraji, but that was repelled. Ceballos getting tangled up, being brought down. Mbappe and Vinny Jr. going to combine for the first time.
Imagine being a Deportiva Minera defender. If you've been struggling against Brahim, Arda, and Endrick, when you see Mbappe and Vinicius coming on, and they're hungry, you can tell, especially Vinicius.
Mbappe had a ferocious scoring record in the French Cup at PSG. Amounted to nearly a goal a game, 44 goals and 46 appearances in that competition. He won several times. Dani Ceballos is in the wars again. Are you surprised, Alex, that Vinny and Mbappe are getting a run out tonight? They have a game to play on Thursday, only 3 days away in Saudi Arabia against Mallorca, that Spanish Super Cup semi-final.
I am very surprised indeed. Very surprised because the game is already over for Deportiva Minera. It's about managing the playing time. You can take this as a yet another training session for them, getting them just 30 minutes of action. It's pretty much the same when you don't play a game and you have your post-game season, just a few laps around the stadium or even at the hotel. So it's the way Carlo Ancelotti is managing their workload. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised because you are exposing them to any sort of accident.
Yeah. No complaints, of course, amongst the 15,000 in attendance. They'll be feeling they maybe got their money's worth now, and some of those prices were a bit steep to start off with. Maybe they knew all along that there will be appearances from some of the real heavy hitters. Here's Vinny Jr. And Garcia giving it back to him. And the crowd rather enjoying that successful tackle on the far side. Jose Mas. There's Chena stepping in. Still, though, we await perhaps a defining moment for that man, Endrick, who overdoes the return pass. It's just not quite happening for him, is it?
No. He's the only player that is not clicking. Even Brahim Diaz, despite all the chances that he missed, but you could tell that he was producing, he was very active. He started off pretty well. His first, 2-3 touches were very dangerous in the first 3 minutes, but slowly but steadily he's been disappearing of the game, and it's not going to be easy for him now, sharing the attack with Mbappe and Vinicius.
You've heard us mention the Spanish Super Cup, the 2 semi-finals coming up later this week. We'll start on Wednesday with Athletic Club taking on Barcelona. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN+, and then same place, same time, following day for Real Madrid against Mallorca. As Mbappe delivers the cross to Endrick, getting it on the left foot. Always a low percentage chance, that one.
It's the same maneuver. Adrian, that a few minutes ago, there was a player overlapping him, but he still chose a selfish way.
Picked off by Barangi, and he did enough to convince the referee a foul was warranted. It's the young centre-back Diego Aguado who was involved. That Spanish Super Cup, by the way, of course, also involves the 2 teams who made the final in this competition last year. Alex, Athletic Club and Mallorca.
That was decided by a penalty shootout. Athletic Club won.
Here's Vinny Jr. on the move. Good work from Molina to hold him in check for now. And then Britos is the captain. His tackles in.
They're following the same attacking structure Real Madrid despite all the substitutions. So Mbappe, Endrick, and Vinicius are playing in central areas, and they leave all the width and depth for the fullbacks. And now they have 2 very attacking fullbacks with Lucas Vázquez on the right-hand side, and Fran Garcia, who's having a great game on the left.
Endrick away from Sheffield and then circled back. Pass from Lucas Vasquez was slightly astray. Interesting to hear you talk about that man. We saw him just briefly in your picture, Chema, and some of the names he's been compared to. That's high praise indeed.
Got a lot of pressure, though.
Yes.
He looks promising because he's got the physique, and according to people who have seen him playing way more often, he's got the ability to be always in the right position. He's now trying to even press the ball up the field. He's got all the qualities, and he's been coached by Xabi Alonso as well.
Yeah. Well, you get mentioned in the same breath as Sergio Busquets. That is some rarefied company you're keeping. Of course, it's all potential at the moment, isn't it, for Chema as a 19-year-old?
The best ever in that position, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sergio Busquets.
I don't think I disagree. Well, you mentioned another pretty good one there where you were talking Xabi Alonso. Maybe a little different version of that role.
Yeah, different passing range. Xabi Alonso's long passing range was unmatchable, but Sergio Busquets' composure under pressure and playing up from the back and always giving the right option to his teammates. When I was living in Barcelona when he came through the youth ranks in 2008, and it was a joy watching him just enjoying himself against Primera División players that were like 10, 15 years older than him. He was a superstar since day one.
Yeah, always the unsung hero, wasn't he, of that amazing Barcelona team, but just as important as any of the bigger names. There was a reason Lionel Messi wanted him immediately with him in Miami. Well, what might have been for Poppy, he was pretty accurate, wasn't he? Saying, listen, we got a 1% chance here tonight. That 1% was quickly reduced still further by the start they made when Real Madrid were in front inside 3 minutes. It's Vinny Jr. now to Mbappe. Fran Martinez continuing his man of the match for Minera performance.
His agent must be already working on the highlight video for next year's contract.
And he's 25 for any interested parties looking on. Fran Martinez in his first year with the club, he's been ever present. Said he did have a few years, he was much younger with the Madrid youth team set up.
He was also at Levante, at the B team. He's one of those players that didn't make it.
Fran Garcia, meanwhile, continuing to wreak havoc down the left. 14 saves and counting tonight.
Insane.
The official stat. Not too many of those from Endrick, though. Carlo Ancelotti would like to change. Notice how he's left Endrick out there to try and produce a big moment. Goulet.
Heavy touch.
Yeah, he fizzed that at Endrick, but you might have expected him still to be able to control it. Here's Perdomo trying to come the other way. Baraggi. Perdomo. Will he give it a go? He thought about it. On to Baraggi instead, who was slipping as he shot.
You need to take that shot. It doesn't make any sense if you keep trying to dribble or to pass the ball. If there's an open for an effort, you need to take it.
At the other end, Vinny hasn't had too much joy, has he, since he come on over on that side?
He's very a few inches shorter than it was in Mestalla, with all the controversy with Dimitrievski.
A little grabbing of the braids seemed to lead to all that trouble. The braids are very quickly gone. Certainly in length anyway, as some cramping will now become an issue, Alex, for the part-timers.
And it's totally understandable because they're not used to this level of physical demands from their opponents. As you said, this is their first game that they're playing in after 2 weeks of winter break. It's not the best scenario for them. This is Luka Modric's goal, the combination with Brahim. 1, 2. Then if you give him this tiny moment of just thinking what to do on the ball and you give him an inch of space, he's gonna score.
And again, just to recap, in his 30th appearance in the Copa del Rey, it's the very first time the legendary Croatian has found the back of the net. A departure now for Javi Vera. And Raul Sanchez is going to come on. Another who's played at a higher level. He played with Elche very briefly. Elche, one of those lower division teams who produced a shock in this competition. They've thumped Las Palmas of La Liga 4-0 a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Pontevedra, 13th tier, also defeated clearly Real Mallorca, 3-0 as well. Valladolid were knocked out by Ourense.
As Lucas Vazquez makes inroads, there to pick up the rebound.
Alaves and Espanyol, although two Primera Division team got knocked out in the previous round. Alaves by Minera themselves, and Espanyol got knocked out by Barbastro, the team that Barcelona just defeated a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Girona also fell victim, didn't they, to Rones? So it's already been a competition where top flight teams have suffered. Not a hint of that tonight for Real Madrid.
No.
Just been superlative as Endrick claims the one exclamation mark they would like to add. Endrick's forceful run resulting in a free kick here. There haven't been too many of these tonight for Real Madrid, Alex, primarily because Minera haven't got close enough to commit many fouls.
They were always 1 second late. That's a great pass for Lucas Vazquez, and yet another save by Fran Martinez.
Well, Poppy will be pleased with the efforts of his goalkeeper. The rest of the squad not so certain. As Arda Güler looks to be the man to take command here.
Three left-footed players were arguing about that. It's Arda, Fran Garcia, and Endrick himself. But I think Arda Güler is going to take it.
Looking for his second of the night. They're taking it. Wasn't that far away. And Martinez scrambling to make up the distance. The ball curled delightfully over the wall.
It's quite close, isn't it? He went for accuracy instead of power. That sums it up perfectly. Hey, Bobby, how did the game go? Just look at this.
It's the sort of look he gives the crowds as they spill out of those seaside bars in Los Alcazares when he's on duty as a as a policeman, Alex.
Yep.
I'm sure they've seen that face before.
He's giving you a ticket.
Well, he won't be giving me a ticket. A long way away from getting my Spanish driving license, Alex. That's a torturous process. They don't seem to take any prior driving experience into account.
Oh, come on. Let me know if you have any issues.
Now, Fran Garcia scampering down the line. Good cross. Oh, and Vinny Jr.